so many new players coming back to AFK Arena or joining us for the first time, I wanted to go and get back to the basics of going through some of the game modes because I've been getting a lot of questions from some different players, again, that are brand new to AFK Arena. And I wanted to go through and start with the Arcane Labyrinth. Now, the Arcane Labyrinth, when you first start the Arcane Labyrinth, you only have one single mode, which is normal mode. So you can see right now we do have a promotion that is going on, Labyrinth of Limbo. This is an event that is going to double the rewards out of here, which means you want to make sure and you do not want to miss this game mode in your entirety. Now, once you go through the normal mode a certain amount of time, it is going to unlock the Dismal mode, which we're going to be looking at today. This, of course, is going to yield you a lot more rewards. Now, you can go in here with the team. As you can see, we do have 3 players in here. It is a 3-person team, and this one is called the Killer Squad, which is funny because I have actually been in this team for an incredible amount of time. But going through here, you can see finishing out this mode makes a big difference because you don't have to do it yourself and you don't have to do it. This resets every 2 days, and you don't have to complete the mode every 2 days because only one of the 3 of you have to complete the mode. And of course, when you complete the mode, it gives you the ability to sweep for everybody else. So it is pretty cool how they kind of incorporated this and trying to get back to really the AFK aspect of AFK Arena. They tried to make this a lot faster. Now, of course, once you go through, we're going to proceed and we're going to go ahead and challenge in here to begin the adventure in the Dismal mode. You can see there are a few different debuffs that you'll get out of here. So you have to be careful. Now, if you start early, and if you don't have a lot of teams, the Dismal mode can be really tough early game because if you lose a hero in there, again, it's really tough to go through. And you're also limited with the factions you can run in here. You can see we only have the Wilders, the Greyborns, then we have the Celestials, then we have the Dimensionals and the Draconis heroes. Again, for a new player, you might be coming in here and you only have the Wilders and the Greyborns built, and ultimately not having very many Dimensional heroes, and of course not having very many of those Draconic heroes in here. Let's go ahead and begin the adventure. There we go. We'll not be able to use the quick battle function. So going in here, you're actually going to have 3 different levels in here. And you can see you want to take the path really of the most loot. So every time that you are fighting a battle in here, it is going to yield you some additional loot. And going through here, you can see Hero EXP. We have gold in here. This, of course, is going to double because of the buff we have right in there. And then when you start looking at the bosses, this is the big thing that you're looking for. If you're looking for Rimuru, if you're looking for Shuna, this is the place that you are going to farm these coins. You can see Labyrinth tokens right here. We also have the Field of Stars, which gives us extra Labyrinth tokens. I do also have the, I believe it's a subscription package, the $2.99 a month. That does yield us some additional tokens in here. So you can see out of here, we're going to get a lot of tokens. In addition, based on how you path through this game mode, you can look, there is a multitude of relics that you can actually pick up through here, and it shows you what they are. So make sure, again, that you know exactly what you're picking up when you're going through this game mode. And you can also see there's a ton of stuff from the Dismal Masters. We have the menu, the store, Champions of Asperia. We have help, and we also do have the team, like I've said before. So going through here, you don't want to pick up the Abandoned Wagon. I really wouldn't. Even going through here and picking up the Fountain of Vitality, not a huge one because, of course, if you're picking these up, that means you are missing out on gold. You're missing out on EXP as you're making progression through this. Now, of course, once you go through and you finish out the Dismal Maze a certain amount of time, so not only do you have to finish out the regular Arcane Labyrinth to unlock the Dismal Maze, once you go through and you finish the Dismal Maze, they give you the level sweep option. Sweep the first 2 floors and reaches the 3rd floor automatically. Receive rewards for all areas traveled. Now, this is what we're going to get the rewards for. And you'll see when I go ahead and confirm this, boom, sweeps all of those floors. There's the rewards. Now, even if you came in here and you just swept these, because looking at the rewards, guys, we have 14,000 arcane tokens. We got 2,000 guild tokens. But in addition, we received some baits. We got some cores. We got a ton out of here by just sweeping these. Of course, some regular resources, we got some diamonds. So doing the sweep is really important. Then, of course, it always brings up the roamer. Now, the roamer, I wouldn't buy anything from here. And as you can see, it is super expensive. Even though it says it's at a pretty decent discount, it is not really at a discount that I would buy at all. Once you abandon this, then it shows up with the relics that we had to choose. Now, of course, the way that I do this is we're looking for 1 crowd control relic and then some damage relics. So right here increases allied attack rating by 40%. We have life leech, which I do not like at all. Right here is going to be some stun. right here is going to be stun, which is awesome on critical strikes, works incredibly well. Looking in here, we have surviving health, we have dissolve, we have enemies are unable to use their ultimate abilities for 30 seconds. Definitely want to pick that one. Now, of course, this is going to be the enemy side. Duration of the enemy buffs. I'm going to go ahead and buff up some more attack rating in here. And I'm hoping that we do pick up some of the crowd control aspect in here. But looking at the Idol of Hastening, this one really strong. Now, the Sunstone is as well, especially if you get both of them. If I pick up the Moonstone, it is going to give me a multiplied 3 times effect. So we might see that. Now, looking at these, Deathly Embrace will instantly kill a hero that hits 30%. That is huge. And of course, those are all the relics we're going to get until we hit this 3rd floor. Like we said earlier, if you're going through here, you want to make sure that you're hitting your camps in their entirety, that you're not going through the roamer or going through a couple different ways, because of course you want to get the loot that is in here, and you also do want to get the random treasures. This is essentially going to roll up into having an incredible amount of loot. And then the heroes you can use in here is based on the heroes that I possess, but also the heroes that the other 2 players within the formation do possess. So depending on what you're going to build, and you can see the combat power on this is 73 billion. They're rocking the level 40 or the SI 40 signature items. We have the 9 of 9 furniture. These are some very, very tough enemies. Now, of course, that's because I am on a very high level here. We're going to drop in some of our heroes. We're going to drop in a couple of our damage dealers in here and see, as you can notice, we are locked out of 3 of the factions in here. So you know what? I'm going to let's drop a Shuna in here. Let's go for some immunity, because we are going to have the ability to actually have Ulna in this formation. And I'm going to do Ulna Rem. Now, Ulna Rem, super, super powerful. And then, of course, I'm going to put Amelia in here. This is a pretty strong combination overall. And you'll see that we can burn through these pretty quick. Now, you start at 100 energy, or completely max out energy, as you can see. Boom, already taking out some targets pretty early. And then, of course, guys, when you look at Amelia, the instant crowd control that she provides is pretty crazy. But you also do have multiple teams in here. So again, difficult, must defeat multiple teams. The tile is a high difficulty to get through. So we got to try to get through here, which of course we usually do. If not, we got some resets. We have a couple other things that we can use in here. But you'll notice the second time they do not come in with the absolute full energy, which means it does carry over and it does have to build up. First one goes through pretty easy. Then, of course, we can look at a few other heroes we have in here. Even looking like at Lady Simona. There's a few in here that do incredibly, incredibly well. Even looking here at running Ivan in here, having a little bit of damage mitigation, having a little bit of an immunity. And I love, and kind of sad, I shed a tear every time I see Rimuru in there. But overall, yeah, I'm really hoping Rimuru does get a buff in there. So again, we're going to come out, we're going to go ahead and throw some buffs. And it's crazy enough because look at this. So Ivan went on Merlin, even though Merlin, of course, has all of those shiny stars down there. That's probably the reason. Didn't go on the Awakened version of Shamira because they were pulling that much damage. Now in here, again, using the path of getting the most rewards, we moved up. This is, of course, is the boss battle. So once we get to this point, boom, we got some instant crowd control. And this game mode, to a point, almost becomes irrelevant at this point, because again, we have really strong heroes that are coming in here. Even though we are fighting some pretty strong enemies as well, it doesn't really seem to make a whole lot of difference going through here. But again, once you get to a point of going through that Dismal maze, and of course, guys, this is the way that you're going to get the Labyrinth tokens. When it comes to, again, Rimuru, when it comes to Shuna, you want to make sure that you're farming all of your tokens out of here, and you do not ever want to miss this thing. When you talk about having the ability and grinding this out like crazy, it is probably one of the absolute most important game modes within AFK Arena. Kind of like what we said before, the reason being, when you start looking at the loot that they offer within the Labyrinth store, you have your Celestial in there, you have Wukong in there, you have your Dimensionals in there, your Emblems of Space, but you also have your Red Chest, you have your Shards, you have your Twisted Essence, you have everything you need to build a hero that comes, of course, within the Dismal Maze or within the Labyrinth store, those Labyrinth tokens, making it, again, very, very imperative that you're going through here. And of course, if we die, you can pause it, you can reset. There's a few different things you can actually do in here to make it easier to go through. but we're getting these little piles of loot. Now, again, a lot of players might say that the little piles of loot or the things essentially going through and fighting those battles might not be worth it. But you know what? The little piles of loot add up. When you're doing this every 2 days, it is really a game changer. When you start getting a lot of your essence that you need to level up your resonating crystal, it does make a really, really big difference running through this game mode. And of course, if you are a newer player to AFK Arena, really rolling in here with the heroes you have. You know, a lot of players will always ask, well, what dedicated hero should I use? Which ones specifically should I use? If you're newer to the game, it is all about the heroes that you possess, because a lot of heroes, if you're like this account, and I literally have all the heroes in the game, not really a big deal who you put in here. You can run through with most of them. But again, if you are newer to AFK Arena and you're trying to get through this game mode, you have to use the heroes you possess. You can, of course, go through, and one of the tricks in here is you can garrison a hero. So you can go through and garrison a Rem or Amelia, or a strong hero, even look at an awakened hero. Go ahead and garrison a very strong hero, and you can use the hero through every single formation, meaning that you can literally keep a very strong hero built kind of in your back pocket to run through this content and make it incredibly easy. Now, of course, once upon a time, we had Ainz. Ainz would just dominate this as a new player. When I started, or when a lot of people started with Ainz, Ainz could carry everything and did carry everything. Now it seems like Rem is kind of fallen into that, where Rem does such a high, incredible early game mode. Rem is another one, again, that will carry through a ton of content in AFK Arena. Draconic heroes, I don't know really the build out. And of course, this is going to resurrect a hero, give us some HP and some energy back. So we're going to go in here. And the last one, the final boss mode, going through this Dismal mazes, of course. Leica just doesn't so much damage right off of the bat. It's kind of crazy to see. Now, of course, when you go through here and you finish the last one, and look at it, guys, we got some diamonds. Look at the rewards, guild coins. We got a lot of our Labyrinth tokens in there. Then, of course, it pops up, but we also do get another chest in here, giving us some more loot, which means, and I did open all of the chests that I just got. So I want to hop in here. Let's go ahead and pop these open. So look at this. We have 36 2-hour essence, 74 2-hour experience. We have a 24-hour gold, or excuse me, 24 6 hours, 102 2 hours, in addition to all of the loot that we just got. So, I mean, we're pulling 3,500 essence out of here, which is pretty good. And again, it is the accumulation of everything that you get out of the game mode. Then, of course, that is going to unlock within the Noble Society. So there we go. So Champions of Vesperia. Boom, we're going to collect these up. And of course, we did buy these. 240 of those, 600 diamonds. So pretty good deal. And again, we did buy the deluxe pass out of the Champions of Vesperia. Overall, within the Noble Society, does work incredibly well. So again, when you come in here, we get a lot more resources and a lot more loot out of the game mode by going through there. And again, it is something that you do not want to miss at all. So all right, guys, so that is going to do it for today's game mode. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.